guess who's back? Bubba G. And Bubba G is teaching Bible basics for all those who want to know, but especially those 10 and under, because you need to learn. In the last video, we saw Samuel. Yes, Samuel. Remember? Hannah was praying, give me a son. She had a son. God gave her a son. Named him Samuel. Put him in the house of the Lord. So in this video, we're going to see the Lord appears to Samuel. Where you at, Bubba G? Samuel, 1 Samuel, chapter 3, verse 1. Ready? Okay. In those days when the boy Samuel was serving the Lord under the direction of Eli, there was very few messages from the Lord, and visions from him were quite rare. One night, Eli, who was now also almost blind, was sleeping in his own room. Samuel was sleeping in the sanctuary where the sacred covenant box was. Before dawn, while the lamp was still burning, the Lord called Samuel. He answered, "Yes, sir," and ran to Eli and said, "You called me? And here I am." But Eli answered, "I didn't call you. Go back to bed." So Samuel went back to bed. The Lord called Samuel again. The boy did not know that it was the Lord, because the Lord had never spoken to him before. So he got up, went to Eli and said, "You called me, here I am." But Eli answered, "My son, I did not call you. Go back to bed." The Lord called Samuel a third time. He got up and went to Eli and said, "You called me and I am here." Then Eli realized that it was the Lord who was calling the boy. So he said to him, "Go back to bed. And if he calls you again, speak, Lord, your servant is listening." So Samuel went back to bed. The Lord came and stood there and called as he had before, "Samuel, Samuel." Samuel answered, "Speak, your servant is listening." The Lord said to him, "Someday I am going to do something to the people of Israel that is so terrible that everyone who hears about it will be stunned. On that day, I will carry out all my threats against Eli's family from beginning to end. I have already told him that I am going to punish his family forever because his sons have spoken evil things against me." Eli knew they were doing this, but he did not stop them. So I solemnly declare to the family of Eli that no sacrifice or offering will ever be able to remove the consequences of this terrible sin. Verse 15, Samuel stayed in bed until morning. Then he got up, opened the doors of the house of the Lord. He was afraid to tell Eli about the vision. He called him Samuel. Eli called him, "Samuel, my boy." "Yes, sir," answered Samuel. "What did the Lord tell you?" Eli asked. "Don't keep anything from me. God will punish you severely if you don't tell me everything he said." So Samuel told him everything. He did not keep anything back from Eli. He did not keep anything back. Eli said, "He is the Lord. He will do whatever seems best to him." As Samuel grew up, the Lord was with him and made come true everything that Samuel said. So all the people of Israel, from one end of the country to the other, knew that Samuel was indeed a prophet of the Lord. The Lord continued to reveal himself at Shiloh, where he had appeared to Samuel and had spoken to him. And when Samuel spoke, Israel listened. So what do we see here? We see God appeared to Samuel, told him he was going to punish the priest Eli and his family because they, his sons, had spoken evil of the Lord. But Eli didn't stop it. Yes. Now, we are going to go to chapter 7. Verse 2. The covenant box of the Lord stayed in Jehoram a long time, some 20 years. During this time, all Israel cried to the Lord for help. Samuel said to the people of Israel, if you are going to turn to the Lord with all your heart, you must get rid of all your foreign gods and the images of the goddess of Ashtaroth. Astarte. Dedicate yourselves completely to the Lord and worship only Him, and He will rescue you from the power of the Philistines. So the Israelites got rid of their gods, got rid of their idols of Baal and Ashtar, something like that. Astarte. Something like that. Bubba G tried. And worship only the Lord. Then Samuel called for all the Israelites to meet at Mizpah, telling them, I will pray to the Lord for you. So they all gathered at Mizpah. They drew some water and poured it out as an offering to the Lord, and fasted the whole day. They said, we have sinned against the Lord. It was at Mizpah where Samuel settled disputes among the Israelites. So, what did Samuel tell the people? He said, you need to stop worshiping Baal. And the other one, Astarte. Yes, you need to stop. When you do that, evil comes. That's what he's trying to tell them. God is saying, when you don't worship me, evil comes on the land. That's why we need to worship the Lord. Yes. Yes.